What's up, my gun whores? There are over 400 million guns in the United States and over 300 million people. So there are more guns than there are people in the United States. So tell me again how we expect gun-free zones to actually work. Gun-free zones do one thing. They serve one purpose, and that is to create victims. It's sad to me that we protect the president with guns. We protect jewelry stores. We protect banks. We protect every place that we see as precious or as important to us or as valuable to us with a firearm. Apparently, people must not think that kids are precious to us then. Because for me personally, obviously you can see my children are protected with firearms while they're at my house. Unfortunately, they can't be here all the time. Unfortunately, I can't be present all the time. In those situations where I can't be present, I'd much rather my kid be as safe as possible in a non-gun free environment than in some place considered to be a gun-free environment where the whole purpose of why we have jails and things like that is to keep criminals that have done dangerous things or have broken the law. So if criminals are going to break the law anyway and regardless, do you think saying that an area or putting up a sign that says, hey, gun free is going to keep that criminal from doing criminal shit? Probably not. And as you can see in the news and things like that with the mass shootings, most mass shooters pick soft targets. And a soft target would be any place they know that is a gun-free zone, right? Because guess what? If they go to a spot that's a gun-free zone, 9 times out of 10, they already know that majority of the people there are law-abiding citizens. And if they're law-abiding citizens, they're probably not going to have what? Their gun on them. But guess who doesn't have their guns? The law-abiding citizens. Because we're not criminals. And we want to abide by the law. But sometimes, unfortunately, we can't. So it's interesting that everybody's okay with the president, the jewelry stores, the banks to be protected by guards. But when it comes to children and saying, hey, let's put metal detectors in schools. Hey, let's, arm the teachers. Hey, let's have an armed guard standing outside of the school. Then all of a sudden, oh no, it's an uprising. We can't do that. We don't want to traumatize the children. You know what's more traumatic than being traumatized by seeing a man with a gun? Being shot with one. Fortunately, I don't know firsthand experience of being shot with a gun. I don't intend on finding out. But what I do know is that gun-free zones do nothing more than to create the very victims that you're trying not to have. And especially in school, if you want to stop a school shooter, you want to stop that spot from being a soft target that the person already knows that majority of the people there aren't armed, where they can probably rack up the most amount of kills. Because it's one thing to be shooting at targets that don't shoot back. It's another to be shooting at targets that you know could kill you. That's the whole purpose of why nobody usually attacks the White House. Why nobody usually attacks a bank. It's very rare occurrences that those happens, but it's a very more occurrence that a school shooting happens or, a gun-free zone where mass murders happen. If 1 and 1 equals 2, I think we need to add something in between to keep that from happening. But that's just my opinion.